Hello again. Now I'm going to answer the ninth question. International relations has been traditionally been dominated by realism and liberalism, both of which focus on state power and diplomacy. And however, the feminist theory offers a different perspective by looking at how gender and power and structure and inequality shape global politics. So, Firstly, let's talk about the core ideas of feminist and international relations. Feminist international relations focuses on who has power and who is excluded. So it looks how world diplomacy and global politics afford people differently based on gender. So, assumptions of feminist and international relations is like firstly, gender is a key factor in understanding power relations. And secondly, traditional international relations theories focus too much on war, military strength, and states, and ignoring the impact of international politics on individuals. So, security should be redefined and to include human security and economy stability and gender justice, not just military power. So also there's different types of feminist and international relations approaches. There are multiple branches of feminist international relations, including liberal feminism focuses on different types of feminist international relations approaches. There are multiple branches of feminist international relations, including firstly, liberal feminism, focus on equal representation of women in international institutions. For example, the low number of women in NATO and peace negotiations. Secondly, critical feminism examines how international relation power structure maintain gender inequality. For example, economic policies that harm women in developing countries. And feminist and international relation theory is not just about women, it is about understanding how international politics impact different groups directly. So, how feminist theory challenges realism and liberalism. Feminist and international relations critiques realism and liberalism for ignoring gender and social inequality in their theories. So, firstly, critic of realism. Realists believe the world is an anarchic place where states compete for power. Also, feminists argue that realism focuses too much on military strength and ignores the human impact of war and security. For example, wars affect men and women differently, so women are often victims of gender-based violence during conflicts. And also critic of liberalism. Liberals believe in cooperation, trade, and diplomacy. Feminists argue that liberalism does not do enough to challenge global inequalities and gender oppression. So, for example, even in democratic countries, women are underrepresented in government and foreign policy decisions making. So, feminist international relations expands traditional theories by make them more inclusive and aware of social realities. So, thirdly, feminist perspective on modern global issues. Feminist international relations is useful for understanding some of the biggest global challenges today, so a conflict resolution and peace building. So traditional security focuses on military strength, but feminist international relations says peace requires economy stability, education, and social justice. For example, the Women and Peace and Security agenda at the United States emphasizes the role of women in peace negotiations. So, secondly, global security and human rights. Feminist international relations expands the idea of security beyond just military defense. It looks at the gender-based violence, economic and security and human rights as a part of global security. For example, the Me Too movement has brought attention to gender equality in workplaces worldwide and including the international politics. Also, the role of instructionally in global politics is the idea that gender, race, class, and nationality all shape experience and of power and discrimination. For example, the experiences of a wealthy white woman in Europe are very different from poor women of color in a conflict zone. Feminist international relations provided a more complete understanding of global politics by considering a different identities and social groups. So, in strengths and weakness of feminist in international relations. Strengths is the highlights gender inequality and global politics. And secondly, expands the idea of security and conflict resolution. And the third one is encourages inclusion in global governance. And the weakness is sometimes seen as too focused on social issues, hard to apply to state-centered political decisions, and the third one is not all policy makers take it seriously. So feminist international relations helps us see what traditional theories ignore, but it still faces challenges in being accepted in mainstream international relations. So, in conclusion, feminist international relations theory expands the way we understand global politics by focusing on gender, power, and social justice. Thank you for listening. See you in the next question.